This weekend, daylight saving time is here, a time to transition on the clocks. We are springing forward, which will bring that sunshine a little bit later in the day, earlier in the evening, but of course some other effects in the morning. It's going to be a tough transition for many. Joining us this morning is Dr. Anthony Hudson with LCMC Health. Dr. Hudson, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Daylight saving time, a lot of mixed reaction and opinion about it, whether we should just keep it same year round. What's your overall thought on just daylight saving time in general?
Having that extra hour of sunlight for 8 months out of the year is advantageous, but I would say it's particularly difficult for my patients. You know, the younger patients and maybe even more so the teenagers at this time of the year. It can be difficult for them. So the right answer, whether we keep it or not, I just don't know.
Walk us through the official logistics. So it all happens Saturday night into Sunday morning. We're springing forward on the clock. And what time does that transition go down?
So the second Sunday of March is a transition in our timing, as well as the first Sunday in November, we change our clocks.
Very good. So we are pushing forward this weekend, and everyone's going to feel a little extra tired Sunday into Monday. What tips, what advice would you share just from a medical perspective on how to best prepare oneself for that transition?
So sleep hygiene is very important for both our toddlers as well as our teenagers. Please don't forget our teenagers need extra sleep. A few tips for the teenagers in particular is to plan ahead. For example, on Saturday, before the time change, that evening, go ahead and set your clock ahead 1 hour in anticipation, and then go to bed at your normal bedtime per the clock. That may help ease that transition. For the younger kiddos, I would say plan even further ahead and try to make small incremental changes in their bedtime, somewhere in the order of maybe 10 to 20 minutes per day. Set their bedtime a little bit earlier in anticipation for that time change on Sunday, and then by that time you can transition more easily into the next work week.
From your experience, how many days does it usually take and/or weeks before people, kids, even working parents feel back to normal once they make that daylight saving time transition?
You know, daylight savings time can lead to, at worst, I think, weeks of chronic sleep deprivation. With the light or, the sun up later in the day, it can be difficult to transition from your work day or school day to sleep with the sun now up come 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night in the middle of the summer. But I would employ parents to stick to their routines. In particular for toddlers, routines are key. And so despite the sun being up a little bit later in the evening time, make sure you're still going through that routine with dinner time, maybe having a bath after dinner, brushing teeth, and then go ahead and get in bed.
Dr. Anthony Hudson, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody get some rest this weekend.